Hey everyone, and welcome back to this channel. Now I know that it has been a really long time, actually 2 years since I did an update on my Ackie Monitor, a video focusing just on him. He became extremely shy, and I mean extremely shy, when he went into this setup. So just a little more information about this is, okay, as some of you know, I actually got him when he was just a month old. So when I actually got him, he was obviously shy, how basically all baby lizards are. But he would actually eat it right in front of me. He would actually chase the feeders if I was holding them with the tongues. So for quite a few months, to be honest, I don't remember. It was probably close to a year that I had him in a 40-gallon tank. Okay, but I have always been the kind of guy that likes to make a setup, as naturalistic as I can. And by that, I don't really mean exactly the way that they would live. Because where they are is gonna be just basically some termite mountains with some bushes and just all sand. So what I mean by naturalistic is basically giving him a setup full of enrichment, or the option for enrichment. A substrate to dig, wood or rocks to hide or to bask on. And this is what I did with my Ackie Monitor. And the very first day that he went into that setup, he was actually exploring everything. And to be honest, it's exactly that the reason as why I do all of this on naturalistic setups. I want to see my lizards, be as active as they want to be. And to be honest, that made me really happy until he actually hid for 2 full weeks. I am not kidding. It was 2 full weeks that I did not see him. Obviously I come to my reptile room almost every single day. At that time it was every single day. So I know for a fact that it was 2 full weeks and they are not active at night. So to be honest, I got scared and I decided to look for him. Maybe this was a big mistake for me, but I needed to make sure that, my lizard was okay. And he was, but after that, I was seeing him, every 3 days, every 4 days, sometimes every week. And I wasn't sure as to why, the sudden change in the way that he was. Because it went from that to actually run like crazy, like if I was about to attack him. When I used to get close to his setup, I wasn't even opening the door when he was already running to hide. So that's when I knew that something was not okay, and I decided not to make any more videos. And I started wondering, how can I change this? Now I already knew the common stuff that people say, try to win him, his trust with food. But the problem was that he wouldn't even try to eat anymore from the tongues, let alone from my hand. He would seriously just rather not eat, as long as he was away from me. So then I got to thinking, trying to wonder what was going on. I started thinking about what other people were doing with shy animals. This is obviously not a problem that everyone with an Ackie Monitor deals with. And actually, Ackie Monitors are very known for being very patient and not being shy at all. So that's when I started to think. I think the problem was actually going all out, making a full naturalistic setup. Obviously I watch a lot of YouTube videos and learning from other people, making videos like, for example, how Kevin McCurley wins, the trust of his monitors with, positive actions. I think that's what he says. Or for example, Mike from Mike's Monitors, that's actually why I'm wearing his shirt. The way that he came up with his socialization. Okay, I'm gonna write the word right there. Socialization caging system. Mike, next time choose an easier word to pronounce, man. But point is that the way that he came up with this system is to actually make a very, very simple setup. For his water monitors, he's obviously choosing water and basically just one big hide. So that got me thinking, how is this working for them? And what I think is that all of this is working because the monitor is basically forced to actually deal with you. Okay, now you obviously have to pay them back with positive actions. you know, obviously not moving too fast, or not trying to force him to, you know, trying to force holding them, stuff like that. And that's actually what I started, and that's actually when I come up with the idea of basically having this setup almost completely empty. And as you can see, I mean, you can barely see it because I scratched the doors really bad. There is actually no heights at all in here, and by heights I mean, you know, those typical plastic heights that you put on top. As you guys know, Ackie monitors are actually a burrowing species. So what they're gonna do, instead of actually trying to look for a height that is above ground, they will actually try to go down. So with something very simple, like seriously just a piece of wood, you put it right there, you just put it on top of the substrate, obviously something that is not you know, super heavy that is gonna crush them. They're just gonna dig a hole enough for them to just burrow in there, and that's where they're gonna hide. And in the morning, instead of just staying in a hole that would be, you know, above the ground, they're gonna come out from the ground to actually bask, look for water, look for food. Once I did this, I actually started seeing him almost every single day. He would not stay for more than 3 days underground. And even if he did, once I sprayed the setup, he would actually come out that day or the very next day, and I'm pretty sure that it was to obviously drink water. So it was actually until that I started noticing, you know, that he wouldn't be running around like crazy. I would just do something simple, you know, like, you know, put worms right there and just put worms in his dish, or, you know, throw some crickets without, you know, actually throwing them. No movement that it was too fast to make him think that I was trying to attack him. And it was finally after a few weeks or probably even months that he actually let me pick them up. So what I started noticing is that he would actually basically, you know, turn around giving me like his back, like his tail. And I'm not exactly sure as to why he was doing this. Maybe it was because he didn't know if I was going to attack him. Just in case I did, it would go to his tail. But he would actually walk backwards toward my hand, and I would basically just like pet him like very, very slowly on the tail, and with the other hand just give him, you know, some kind of food, whatever it was that I was feeding him. Now, to be honest, I still don't trust him completely enough to just, you know, put my hand in there and just pick him up. You know, I have done that a couple of times, and every single time he always tries to actually bite my finger. I'm pretty sure that he thinks that my, you know, my skinny fingers are worms. So I'm actually going to try to pick him up and show you. Now I know that there's a ton of people, and I know, Mike, that you actually, you know, hate seeing people wearing gloves trying to get, you know, trying to pick up their monitors. But I was actually bit a couple of times, and it doesn't feel good. So what I always do is make sure that I have a couple of feeders, because once I grab them, what I do is that I actually put them on my lap and actually start feeding him right there. And this has worked every single time. So as you can see, the setup is basically completely empty, but instead of him, he's actually right there. You can see the tail, but instead of him running around like crazy, he's just staying right there. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm actually going to pick him up. You know, what I always do is that I grab him a little bit by the tail and kind of lift it, and basically just put him on my hand. You know, I always make sure that I am not holding his body, and this is the way that I get him to stay on my lap. So from here, what I'm actually going to do is that I am going to put him on my lap, and I am going to start feeding him. Okay, so after picking him up, this is just basically what I am doing. If I remember correctly, Clint called it doing a treadmill, which is basically making them walk on your hands. You know, obviously putting one hand in front of the other one until they, you know, they basically just stop trying to walk out. Oh, he actually tried to bite me right there. Now, as I said, you know, I am putting my thumb on top of his tail, obviously just to make sure that in case he tries to make a run for it, you know, I do have to hold him. But look at this. I am not holding him. I just have him right on my palm. Now I can feel that every time that he goes towards my hand, like he makes himself try to look a little bit bigger. So I think that tells me that he's not fully that he doesn't fully trust me. Maybe one day he will trust me completely enough to that I can just open the door and for him to get a little bit closer to me. But I will actually offer food right now, right after putting him in his setup. And this is just where I simply offer food. That's it. If he wants it, that's great. If he doesn't, then that's okay too. Well, he did not want it. Did you guys see his bowls completely full of substrate? Every single day, man, every single day. But okay, I'm actually going to clean those and add fresh water. But I wanted to finally make this video because I do feel like I am finally making progress with him. And if I am able to one day, have him right in front of me with no gloves, making sure that he will never bite me, then I will be completely happy with that. But I saw that this was definitely working, so I wanted to share this information with others that might have, a shy Ackie Monitor. I actually do know of at least one person. But okay, I will definitely make an update, in a few months. It will not be another 2 years. And hopefully this video helps at least one more person. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.